another thing that is important to look at is the amount of cyber attacks happening. There are just, so you mentioned one, and I'll say why that one is kind of funny, but the amount of cyber attacks that are happening. So I saw some statistics in this Observer article I'd mentioned that for Jamaica last year, 43 million attempted attacks apparently happened, and that was actually an increase. So that's 43 million in 2023, and then 30 million in 2022. But so far, apparently, we've seen a decrease in the amount of attacks. The article mentioned that 4 million had happened in the first half of 2024. But what they're saying is that you have to remember that it's not just the amount of attacks, because you could have less attacks, but then depending on who you're attacking, you could still end up earning more money. So this isn't just the value of it's not 43 million US or 40 million like dollars. It's just saying a number of attacks. So what they're saying apparently is that the hackers are switching to certain industries. So they're going after things like utilities, transportation, healthcare, government. But yeah, like we all know that, and it makes sense, because I guess if it's, if more people are going online, more data is now stored online, it incentivizes hackers to be like, hey, or incentivizes criminals to be like, instead of me going to your house, stealing your safe, I just hack your bank account, because that's how the world is now. It's more of us are online. So it wasn't, far-fetched to think that this would happen. Um, but you mentioned, for example, Mayberry. Mayberry got hacked June 2023. The FSC, the Financial Services Corporation of Jamaica, got hacked September 2023. And I even saw Derriman Trading Limited, also listed, got hacked August 2023. But one of the things I need to mention, trying to see if I still have the article up. I don't know if I still have it up. One sec.
I had a conversation with a brethren about, Mayberry's hack,
Uh-huh.
and you kind of can meds the gravitas of the situation based on the amount of data that a lot of banks need in order for you to open up an account. So think about it. If you were to open up an account, you need, your name, your address, your date of birth, your whole identity, right? You also may need, depending on if you're opening up a joint account with like, I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's a spouse or with a kid or something like that, having a dependent. You may have to have their passport images up. You may have to have, maybe, I don't know if it's a marriage certificate for certain things. You may have to have a lot of crucial information stored, right, in order to open up like certain accounts or do certain transactions. Your signatures would be there and so on. You could literally sell somebody's data, and that's how identity theft happens. So you could have somebody's maybe death certificate and that gets sold, or and who knows what your information can be done to the right with the right hackers. So I guess you're gonna share something doing it,
Yeah,
right?
so I found this article. The irony. This is an Observer article, September 2022, titled "Doing It Right: The TTech Story." So it actually goes through this guy on screen, Edward Alexander. He is the founder of TTech. His story is actually interesting because his dad was the chairman and the CEO of Grace Kennedy in the past. His name was Selwyn Carlton Alexander. And his son, Edward Alexander, also worked at GK, but he was essentially in the IT department. He was the chief information officer. And then I think GK was trying to improve their IT infrastructure. And then he saw a need that said, hey, why don't I just set up? There are a lot of businesses that want these IT services, but there isn't someone that they can easily go to for this. And he said, hey, let me leave GK and I'm going to set up my own business. And then GK ended up being a customer. I think GK was like their first customer.
And they're
But
still
one of
their
the
customer to this day.
but
Yeah.
I think there's other people I don't think it's just TTech is their like IT stuff. I feel like I've seen another company too. But one of the things I found interesting. So TTech has, I think it's TTech. Like there's a TechCon, which is like a conference, right? So the article mentions that last year's TechCon, one of the sessions we had was on digital transformation, and Christopher Berry, the executive chairman of Mayberry Investments, he spoke about why they took the decision to outsource their IT services to TTech and the positive effect it had on Mayberry and how it helped them to get on with their digital transformation journey. Notice that this article was 2022, and when was the hack?
Last year, 2023.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's still a client. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone is gonna make. It can't. I'm sure it would be impossible to be like, okay, we set up a security team or whatever, and you'll never get hacked. And the other thing too is that suppose it's not even necessarily TTech's fault. Like it could have
Yeah.
been.
They
There's
could
so
have been
many things that.
recommended certain products to them
Yeah, and
and
then they
they
said
just,
no. I don't know,
yeah,
but I just
anything
found
could
that.
have happened.
I just found that. Yeah, I just found that interesting. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
point is, lots of cyber attacks are happening. A lot of businesses need better to up their cybersecurity. So there is a big need. So
Yeah.
if TTech is smart, they can capitalize on that.